that in the issue of Amalek, we have to understand first the appearance. Amalek as a name appears when there is an appearance of a group, of a nation. Only when Israel appears as a nation, there are two entities that will appear with it. Whenever Israel will appear as meaning as a nation, it means as something that will give birth, a power that will give is able to give birth to a new consciousness. This is the meaning, the true meaning of nation. Okay, first, so to know that. So Amalek appears when Israel when Israel emerge as an entity, as a nation. There are two powers that will always sort of follow. It will be the accompanying powers or entities that will go the way with it. One will be Pharaoh and one will be Amalek. Pharaoh in all its, I would say, all its expressions. Okay, one wish to actually destroy, annihilate completely Israel, so that to wipe it completely from the nations, and one wish to actually take its place. Okay, so there are two entities. You can say it's like the way of thinking. Whenever the name Israel is being mentioned, even today, there are powers that are saying, "Well, let's wipe it out. Let's wipe it out from existence," and they declare this intention. We tend not to believe their intention, but they declare it. They declare it out loud. So maybe with an historical memory and understanding, we'll start to believe that actually this is what they mean. And the other is sort of, it's okay that they exist, but we will take their place. We will replace them. Okay? We will replace because we are the true Israel. Okay? Or we will carry this message. Okay. So this is in the work. In the work, there is two sort of powers that actually divide themselves into 7 lower sphirot, like we have in let's say, in what we usually deal with them. So there are qualities that are called grace, chesed, gvura, valor, okay, tiferet, which is glory, let's say, and then netzach, which is to do with eternity, and hod, which is to do with it's a glorious valor, I would say, and then Yesod, which is to do with a base, yeah. Now, and Malchut. Of course, they have different meaning in Hebrew, but we call them, and this is why we use the Hebrew name of it, Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malchut. And now, what we discover now, when we become a nation or a group with an identity and mission. So a nation is the gathering of spirit with an agenda, with a higher agenda of their meaning or their duty. Okay, what will stand against it is those 7. So if we look at them, which is to do with what kind of sounds we will be able to hear from the will to receive to oneself from the left side, because the left side now is the root of Malchut, meaning the root of human consciousness. So only from that, what will be built is the same structure as holiness, that will be it will have different levels, and the levels are to do with the definition of self through the will to receive to oneself, which is bad. It's not evil, it's bad. It's that which is covered, meaning not circumcised, meaning not dedicated to something the higher, dedicated to oneself. Okay. Impure, meaning atus, close to light. Okay. And then we have the hater, meaning that it, instead of creating the power of movement, it will sort of try to make the life as adopt a standstill position instead of movement. It's the opposite of life. Yeah. If movement to a certain extent, actually, it's a definition of life. Yeah, definitely. When we speak about evolution or development, so there need to be a movement. Okay, then there is a barrier or an obstacle. Okay, and then there is the north, the north stone, and everywhere that the word stone in Hebrew appears, it means understanding. It comes from understanding. It comes from perception, the way I perceive things. You know, Even Tzchoni, northern perception, is the root of that allow to the perception of the will to receive to oneself of reality, because it comes from the north. Everything that comes from the north has to do with the left, because of two. First, it's cold, like Amalek, so it's freezing the fluidity of life. Okay, freezing the fluidity of life, and it has an intelligence to conceal itself with different intention. So it has to do with a secretive mission of the root of the will to receive to oneself, as sort of captivating an imprisonment of human perception. This is the North Stone. Okay? It's that which actually design. It has the power to design our perception, our consciousness. Okay? So this is actually how this Amalek is appearing now as a full structure, because Israel now, or Israel and everything that came out of Egypt, which is as well Erev Rav, and all the nations, the bits and pieces of different nations, and the Egyptians that came out of Egypt with Israel. Okay, so they constitute now. This is what, every time that there will be presence of the mission of Israel, the power of Amalek will appear. It will try to weaken, it will try to freeze the lights, okay, and to freeze the movement of living, yeah, of something that is moving to irrigate, to quench the thirst of living being, yeah, the spiritual thirst, yeah. There's always the hunger and thirst, the different state of sorting out. Yeah. And one is of grace and one is of wisdom, of course, but tzama. is different. It's the thirst. Thirst is more crucial than hunger.
Right.
Because without, let's say, drinking, you live less. You can carry hunger for food, let's say for something that is not water, it is not liquid, for longer than being dried of lack of liquid, because we are like the planet, 70% water.
Right.
Our being is 70% water.
Right.
So it's more crucial to us. Okay. And the planet as well is 70%. So it's the affinity of life in this ecology.
Mm.
So attacking this is attacking life as a whole. Yeah. So this is what will appear, and it will appear when there will be a group gathering that will constitute a power, a spiritual power. Those power of Pharaoh and Amalek will appear,
Mm.
and will appear to sort it out, and to
Right. This is actually
within the
thinking
person
about.
and within the group.
Right.
Yeah.
So it has a purpose for us to
Yeah. Mm.
actually accelerate and sort out.
Yeah.
what
Accelerate and sort ourselves.
Right.
It's a power of sorting out. Yeah.
Right.
It's usually we don't like, specifically when there is a sense of overriding pacifism that relates to spiritualism. Even in our body, there is a constant war all the time of the immunity system, and fighting everything that comes in order to regulate. So it's a life in itself, even as a corporal life, is always fight for what? For sovereignty. And the sovereignty is what will allow the continuation of the evolution of life.
Mm.
And so there is always a war and fight for that which will, because this war and fight for life sort of prepares us truly, not as an idea, but as a somatic sense. Somatic, I mean somatic through the body of the spirit, of the value of life. Yeah. So it seems to be that, and it relates to belief, because the belief is always a fight against that which we understood to be the case. Well, yeah.